Hello Internet, it's been a while, hasn't it? Welcome back to Lux Invictus, Take 4. And for those of you coming to the series fresh, a translation. Lux Invictus literally translates as Light Unconquered, and as the name of this series, it's a set of hardcore worlds in which I am attempting to be a devoted follower of the light, praise be the unconquered sun, and deal with increasingly stranger, arbitrary, self-inflicted limitations as I work towards eventually killing the Wither, or dying trying. As evidenced by the fact that we are on Lux Invictus 4, there has been significantly more die trying than there has been actually succeeding in killing the Wither. And as the challenge progresses, I will have different tasks that add increasing restriction. So, I start off with having a preordained build palette, and the restriction that I cannot wear iron armor. As things go further, and I am inducted as a true champion of the light, I will get more complicated with regards to not being able to run away from fights. Oh, and I have one other restriction that was significantly harder back in... Actually, that is just as hard now as it ever was, but is generally fairly easy to work around. A block in true darkness is forbidden to me. I am not allowed to mine anything below light level 1. I am not allowed to interact with a crafting bench below light level 1. I'm not allowed to open chests below light level 1. If it is, everything the light touches is my dominion, but only what the light touches. That said, I am capable of placing torches. And one other thing to do right now, early on, I need my resource packs. Give me my vanilla tweaks. My glorious grass stretching most of the way down the block, my golden crown, my little progress bar on breaking blocks. And I'm just gonna look. Ooh, that is a village, and it's fairly close to the spawn axis. That's important for two reasons. One, it is a village, which allows me to basically ignore most of the difficulties that a hardcore character has with day 1. I think there is also a lava lake there. And one of the major areas where my restriction about light levels would most hinder me, underwater. The light looks brighter than it is down there. The water is a deceitful, treacherous place, full of darkness and despair and drowning. Yes. I will have a bed. That's very nice. Things are on fire, but I will stop it from the village itself from catching fire. So I have a bed for my first night. Villagers to trade with to get a lot of my gear through means other than going caving. And since we are aligned this close to 0-0, I will be able to acquire... Or it will not be that difficult to align myself perfectly along north-south for the construction of my sun temple. However, I have a very ambitious plan this iteration. Very ambitious, and it's one that's going to require a bit of exploration, shall we say. So while I have found my north-south axis, I may be running a very long time before I settle in with my starter base. And that down there is what we call dangerous. However, it is also a good sign, because my plan for my mega build sun temple is to rip the entire roof off of one of the large 1.18 caves and bring the light down into the darkness. So if we're having interesting cave systems showing on through, well, that's a good place to start from, wouldn't you say? And I need to remember that this is day 1 and I do not have food production sorted out. Also, this is day 1, in which your friendly neighborhood Minecrafter punches trees. Ripping the roof off of a cave to drag it kicking and screaming into the sunlight is a little bit harder when it's underwater, and by a little bit harder I mean incredibly difficult, and I will not be doing that. I see a jungle. I see a jungle next to a birch forest. I see the rarest biome in the game, give or take some dark oak. Please tell me that is not an ocean monument. Because the temptation would be there, and it would get me killed. Good news is that is not an ocean monument over there, that is just gravel beach? I'm not certain exactly what's going on there. It's weird and I don't like it. I will be back for this jungle. Oh, I will be back. This is not the last you have heard of L'Aurora jungle. But it is time for me to return to O Blessed Village where there is beds. And it's possible that one or more elements of my self-imposed challenge may combine together to be functionally difficulty impossible. But when has that ever stopped me? And no, I'm not going to be trying to tame a cat this time. I played that game once. Don't want to do it again. And now, with marvelous powers of divination, I shall meditate on the question of where to construct my sun temple and whether or not this is, in fact, a suitable location. Here we have the first hint of a cave that's anywhere close to the sort of cave I'm looking for, and it's entirely flooded with water, and water is deceptive and evil and treacherous. So, it seems that we have many miles yet to walk on this journey. So, my meditation hath revealed to me that this is not where I wish to make my sun temple. It is a lovely start, but it is only that. I will return in the future for the villager trades and what they can offer me. But I'm just going to take this bed and start wandering into the distance. Even if I have not yet been blessed with a glorious cave in which to settle, I feel like this is still a promising start. And I'm going to head towards that jungle rather than away from it. Jungle, the birch forest, and the rising mountain. It feels like an omen to me. A sign. I am meant to go north. And not just surface coal, surface iron. And every single solitary iron ingot contains within it the potential to be a shield. And it is my experience that hardcore runs live and die by their shields. I'm considering on the cocoa beans, but I think I shall avoid them. I already have the makings for pumpkin pie, the most sacred of foods, or at least for setting up a pumpkin farm. And acquire... I am a fool. I forgot to grab the sugarcane. Still, I have many miles left to go on my journey. and it is sure that I will find more sugarcane before we're through. If only because if I don't find sugarcane, we're not done exploring yet. 'Tis that a dark oak forest I see. Never mind, this is not the sacred direction, this is cursed. Most assuredly, it is cursed. Dark oak forest, the most cursed of biomes. Okay, out of character, I love dark oak, but in any other world, I would be happy to see a dark oak forest. Dark oak is a lovely wood. That might be the cave to which I will construct a sun temple, but it might not. After all, the light already reaches down into the depths. And two, that is the most cursed of all cursed biomes. I shall not settle there. I have a bed. I'm not afraid to use it. Time set me sunrise. And I see sugarcane. And my infinite supply of really cheap sticks. Also, in theory, the ability to make scaffolding, but since I am playing in hardcore, getting string is going to be, shall we say, a challenge, and what string I do get shall almost certainly be reserved for the making of candles. Since if I have an option between making a sacred light source and making scaffolding, do you honestly think I'm about to take the scaffolding in this run? No. No scaffolding. But I love that jungle. That's a nice, pretty jungle. It's a nice, pretty hardcore world. And I will be tormented with visions of cats. Oh, I see dripstone. It's not a green thing, but it does grow. And it's a growing thing that I intend to have more of. Because it's where I grow, shall we say, my supply of lava. And as previous iterations of this challenge have taught me, it's hard to beat lava buckets from 3 blocks straight up as a method of killing a lot of mobs I don't like. It isn't fair. But since when do the Minions of Darkness play fair? And it is at least brilliantly bright. This is still not quite the cave I'm looking for. I have a very specific shape in mind, and also I'm once again off by about 100 blocks. However, let's just jump down to this aquifer. And grab, for me, some pointy dripstone. And with a bed and a bit of food, I can keep going overland for a very long time hunting for this cave. And I may as well, because better to set up in exactly the right location than to pick somewhere that will just sort of barely do the job. Oh my god. That is an interesting formation. It might not be what I've come here to find, but when I get hit with a vision of that coming down across the hill, I guess I got schooled. No ripping the roof off of a cave. I will have to come up with a new Sun Temple design. Because that island is perfect. Or even if it's not. You see this island. sitting on my sacred center line, I think. And if it's not, then maybe I will keep looking, but my god. That. I think I know where I'm building my sun temple. Now what am I gonna do with it? But also... Actually, that still gets some of the vibe I was going to think of to go for here. I know at least one thing I'm doing with the sun temple. Because the sun temple is not that island. It is the entire space of these cliffs. So instead of ripping the roof off, I'm going to be building in the high vaulting arches, the stone pillars that makes it look like there was a ceiling on this at some point that has been ripped away to reveal this marvelous thing. I don't like that creeper. Who invited a creeper here? But that island had also better be on the center line. How do I want to deal with that creeper? Let's go with bomb squad option. I swear there was a creeper here 5 seconds ago. Get over here. Come out and face me like, the absolute nightmare you are. There was a creeper here. Am I going mad? I feel like I might have just gone like a little bit crazy because I saw there was a creeper and I come in to go deal with it and it's not there anymore. And I'm also now existing in the immense fear of where is the creeper that I can't see. But I've got my sound on, I will hear it. I will have at least enough time to go jump into the water. If and when it decides to blow up at me. Well, that is suboptimally centered. But that island is on the north-south line. And if I am putting that wall as the back wall of my temple in effect, I think that becomes a bit more centered. So, I have found my location for setting up my sun temple, and it is completely different than the plan I came into this episode with, but no plan survives contact with a random seed. Is this enough space up here to put a house? Yeah, I think this is. See, this is what I do not like. On the other hand, if the skeleton drowns itself, that'd be nice. That would be really nice, actually. Because I've messed up and I don't feel safe lowering my guard enough to eat or to attack. But that skeleton is drowning. And that's a situation I can deal with. Alternatively, that skeleton is shooting itself to death, and either way, that's a situation I can deal with. Come on, skeleton, how many hits does it take to kill you? So that was considerably more interesting than I wanted my time-lapse to be. And now we run away from the pillagers. Come on, you two cats. What does it take to tame a cat in Minecraft? Well, the roof still isn't done, but yon wandering trader turning up is, I think, a sign I have been working on this too long. So let's just call it complete for this episode on my starter base with having the ground floor done. The second story can be next episode. So, what do you have to trade, good sir? That pointed dripstone could have been useful if I didn't already have it. Other than that, your trades are terrible, wandering trader. Goodbye.